Hey everyone, Forced Positivity here. I bet now all of you are aware of the current remakes of classic Nicktoons that are being made. Then I started to remember all those live action shows Nick used to have. One in particular was The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Now Pete and Pete was one of those shows that you kind of had to watch at the time to really get the true experience. It was very grungy and experimental. There was no other show that was really able to explain the absurdities of growing up in such a lo-fi yet surreal way. Most nickcoms nowadays just try their best to appeal to their target audiences in the most artificial ways possible. But with Pete and Pete it was a lot different. There was like an actual attempt at effort of actually giving a damn to create something of substance. I think an episode that best expresses that is Inspector 34, which takes a concept as ridiculous as an underwear inspector and create this amazing episode that I still internalize to this very day. So the episode starts off as any other, with a narration from Big Pete about how Little Pete finds out that every pack of underwear that he's bought has been inspected by the same person. Pete then considers this mysterious Inspector 34 to be some sort of guardian angel and decides to summon him. Faster than you can make an unoriginal pedophile joke, the inspector shows up one night and decides to take Little Pete under his wing in order to mold him into the perfect inspector. In other words, Little Pete's gonna grow up to be one of those people who scrutinizes everything and everyone in order to bolster his own self-worth. Whew, thank God YouTube didn't exist back then. Eventually, Little Pete and 34's influence begins to spread, causing everyone in the neighborhood to desperately try to reach for perfection in everything they do. Now, you can probably tell by his behavior, and not so much his speech pattern, because I'm using a finished dub of this episode, that your boy 34 has some sort of OCD or somewhere on the autism spectrum some way or another. And even if it's played up for laughs, I don't think it's meant to be malicious, but it's rather showing his and the neighborhood's quest for perfection has really damaged their lives rather than helping it. Really, in the way 34 is kind of a tragic hero. You see him later trying to develop a relationship, but it ends up backfiring when his own issues start to kick in. Now, I don't really want to spoil the ending, even though you probably see it coming a mile away, but it is really one of those shows you need to watch yourself to get the full experience. You can't just have some guy mumble over some poorly written script. Just go out and seek it yourself in any way you can. Just, in fact, stop this video right now. Just stop. Now let's return to this current decade of endless reboots and reimaginings. Would it be possible or even really necessary to remake Pete and Pete? It was really a product of its time, and I mean that in the best way possible. Even in its editing, it just doesn't seem like your typical cookie-cutter nickcom that you see nowadays, or even like any of the 90s sitcoms back in the day. But instead of actually just rebooting the entire series, either with a new cast or some of the people from the older cast, why not just make a completely different series? I mean, it wouldn't be too impossible, because Pete and Pete dealt with a lot of universal issues, like friendship, identity, and trying to find your place in the world. Concepts and ideas that kids can still understand even in the internet age. And in such a divisive era as our own, a lot of the messages would hold true as they did back in the day. Just say screw it and stuff it with internet memes. Anyways, thanks for watching. This was just a little something I wanted to make for quite a while. I'll be back with my old school YouTube internet videos later. Or who knows, maybe I'll just continue with more stuff like this. I kind of like to diversify a little bit. Anyways, see you later.